Okay, so this is a review of Japanese sentence patterns for effective communication, self-study course reference. It's a pretty... I haven't finished this book yet, so you'll probably see me jump around, and I'll probably be doing this on different days as I continue to read. Here's the ISBN number for the book, if you're interested. Here's kind of the basic here. It has the list of basic expressions that are in the book. So, I'm going to see exactly what you're going to learn. For one, identifying, describing people and things. So, they give you a simple sentence, and then they kind of go into a little bit of depth between the differences between wa and ga. So this book, unfortunately, I've looked through a lot of this book, and there is only romanji. Only romanji in here, even in the paragraphs, they throw romanji. This book already, I mean, I don't really like it so far. I don't know. I mean, I haven't read it all yet, so that's why I said it's probably going to be an ongoing thing. It's pretty quick read. But here is some of the beginning phrases. And then we have this one. Sara ga eiyo shida. Yeah, so it goes into some of it kind of explains the sentence pattern. This is a sentence pattern. It goes into the examples. Then it goes into vocabulary, which is very advanced vocabulary. Kind of surprised. I mean, it's nice to see. I didn't know a lot of these. I should have known eiyoshi because eiyo is in my science books a lot, and eiyo means nutrition. So eiyoshi is dietitian. So they give you this, no more examples. Say the following in Japanese, and then they give you the answers. And there's the answers. And then it goes into the next sentence pattern. So it also goes into san. And then it goes into possessive. This one's using the possessive no particle. And it goes into explaining it, the examples, vocabulary, practice, answers, and then the next. So this is pretty much just a book of, like I said, sentence patterns. Sentence pattern book. And that is the whole book. I haven't read it all yet, so I will be finishing it. Yeah, this is the whole book. One of the main things is, of course, the amount of English that's in here, and there's no kana, even though you should already know it. They always have it. And romanji, and this is one of the later pages. Counters, still in romanji. I don't know why that part gets me, but I mean, I don't know why they can't just put furigana up here. I mean, we should already be able to read hiragana. They have it in all of their example sentences. Well, it looks like it has pretty good reviews. So you can see you can get it pretty cheap. There's one here. Used $2. Okay, let's go here. So here is this book. Let me see if I can find reviews. Wow, it's got pretty good reviews. So it's got really good reviews. No 2 stars, no 1 star. Let me go to the 3 stars and see exactly why they didn't like it. So I'm giving the book a 3 mainly because of one thing, romanji. I understand it's a beginner-friendly book, however, there's no furigana or hiragana katakana to supplement the kanji. This book has a sentence in Japanese and one in romanji. I would like to block out the romanji, but I can't because I don't know some of the kanji, so for the future I'd like a book to contain furigana supplement. Otherwise the book is great, contains all the conjugations and sentence patterns one could want. I would suggest getting a good grip of your Japanese reading before you use this book, because your eyes will be drawn to the crutch that is romanji. And then this one, I would like the book to be more versatile, but it's very basic and not for the purpose I bought it. See, just what I needed after learning hiragana and katakana. After learning this book helped. So cool. So I guess this is a good book to jump into after you've learned hiragana, katakana. There's a lot of people selling this book. Let's check this one out. So it's got a 2-star. So this person said sentence patterns are hard to understand. It has tons of sentences as its title implies. Thing is, they're not structured in a way that helps my pea brain. Example, I've been studying sentences such as someone, animal, wa, place, ni iru. So all I have to do is plug in the proper words to get say. Wow, okay. So all I have to do is plug in the proper words. Neko wa ki ni iru. The cat is in the tree. Bam, sentence, complete sentence. Here's from the book. Kore wa watashi no jisho desu. Kono jisho wa watashi no desu. The brief explanation that follows is not very helpful at all, and you're better at getting the Japanese from 0 books. Those help me so much that I'm shedding tears of gratitude. Oh, you're better at getting the Japanese from 0 books. So, they suggest the Japanese from 0 books. I have not seen those. I have not actually looked inside those books, so I can't say for sure if those would be helpful or not. But they suggest that Japanese from 0. So all in all, they have really good reviews. I'm probably going to end up donating this book though. Once I'm done with it, I might write down some important notes. Let's see a few more examples. Example, why won't you go to the party? I have an exam tomorrow. Doshite or naze? Party ni ikanai no desu ka? Ashita shiken ga aru no desu. So, and it goes into explaining. Looks like they have pretty good explanations. I just wish Romanji wasn't there. But so now they're gonna have you use naze or doshite. Let's see. No, this is also. So I guess the bolded font is the points that they're trying to lay out for you. And those are the points that are going to be explained more in depth. So what are you reading? Nano yondeiru desu ka? Let's see. Ooh, these are kanji I haven't really seen. Detective novel, huh? I don't know that word. So let's try to read the Romanji. Tantei shousetsu. Tantei shousetsu o yondeiru desu. Totemo omoshiroi desu yo. So here it goes into ndes. There's ndes in here, so ndes must be in one of these back pages. I hope, because ndes is still one of the points I struggle with. So at least it has a good variety of examples. And they do definitely throw out kanji that's not very beginner kanji. So, I mean, I guess that is a plus for me. I still don't think I'll end up keeping this book. I'll probably buy a notebook, and then I'll go through and maybe write some of the examples down and the sentence pattern, and then donate the book, like I said. Practice some more. Motto renshu shinasai. Nasai. So yeah, I mean, it does look pretty useful. It's pretty simple. Please wait here. So this one they're gonna go over the polite request, like it says here. machi, and then kudasai, which means please. どうぞこちらでお待ちください. And then they're going to use o also. どうぞお入りください. It's so weird hearing it like that. To see. See, this one is どうぞお座りください. So please sit. So the next one is ないでください. この通りに車を止めないでください. So then they're going to go into explaining what ないでください is and how to use it. And then 辞書を返してくださいませんか? くださいませんか? Won't you give me? I think I have seen this one actually. 辞書を返してくださいませんか? So then they're going to go into examples to use. Let's see. This one is ないでくださいませんか? So, oh, here's temoi orいいです. So, I mean, you're going to learn these in, say, Genki, the textbook for Genki, sort of sentence endings. Yeah, ga jouzu, jouzu desu. Hai hai. Hoshi, if you want something. So here it gives you, Ima, nani ga hoshi desu ka? But yeah, describing the actions of giving and receiving. So this one's mi ageru and morai. So yeah, you will learn these in Genki 1 and Genki 2. You'll learn all of this. It's just kind of a simplified version of it. In one of the reviews, it said it went into conjugation. I'm not seeing it. I'll have to finish reading this to see if I see any conjugation. Here's te form. Well, it's command form. So, here's te form. Appendix 3. So, let's go to the back of the book real quick and see where the appendix is talking about. Okay, so they don't really go into conjugation. I see there is charts in the back. And of course the top is romanji, ba form, tada form. Just sounds weird. Anyway, so there's some conjugation. Verbs plain. Here's te form, nai form. So it's just conjugations for a whole bunch of different words. So it doesn't look like they really explain how to conjugate. They just give you a list and have you memorize. That's so hard. It's so much easier if you actually learn how to conjugate instead of memorizing a whole bunch of random characters, because they probably do look really random if you don't know how to conjugate. I don't see them explaining the conjugation rules. They say they go over them. I know it wasn't at the beginning. I don't see conjugation rules in here, so I would probably learn those before looking in this book. It did say, one of the reviews did say that they went into conjugation, so maybe I just missed it. So I have been going over this book just a little bit more. It does seem like a pretty good book for people that are starting out, still learning kana even. just because you are able to read it without actually learning the Japanese alphabet. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to learn Romanji, because actually it could end up helping you spell out words, especially when they have long vowels. And if you know what it is in Romanji, you can spell it out perfectly. You can spell it out easier when you are spelling it in kana. So it's not a bad thing to learn Romanji. I actually considered learning some Romanji for the hard words, for the words that I struggle with, such as words that have long vowels, like I said. So this does seem like a pretty good book. It is more of a overview, or like a review book, sort of like Tay Kim's grammar guide. It just gives you a snippet of a certain grammar point and a little description and then some examples, and then it gives you practice. So I don't know for sure, I can't say for sure if I would have been able to understand this before I started learning grammar through Genki. But it does have really good reviews, and it looks like people are able to understand it fairly easy. Let me show you. I did find, when I was looking through it, I did find a example of them explaining, showing volitional form in this example number 92. So they're just showing conjugation for the volitional form, and it says it's obtained as follows. And here's how they explain it. It kind of gives you an idea of how you will see conjugation in this book, which to me, there's not enough there for me to actually understand conjugation. So I'm really glad that I already know conjugation. But here's regular 1 verbs, and then 2, and then the irregular verbs. So here's group 1, group 2, and then the regular group 3. So it's all in Romanji. So they have it au to ao, iku to iko, oyogu to oyogo, hanasu to hanaso, matsu to mato, asobu to asobo, yomu to yomo, kaeru to kaero. And then you have miru to mio, and taberu to kuru to koyo, and suru to shio. So that's kind of how they explain how to conjugate. So it says it's the same as a mas form, only with masho replacing masu. So I mean that seems really confusing to me, but maybe not to others. I mean, I don't know. But that's kind of how they do have conjugation a little bit in here. They don't really explain it. It does look really weird with the Romanji. But like I said, if you're just starting out and are just starting to learn kana, and you want to try to go ahead and still pick up some grammar, this book would be perfect for you. But like I said, it is like a review book. It reminds me of a review book because it doesn't spend a lot of time on each grammar point. It kind of just goes over, hey, this is how you do this. Then here's an example. Here's some practice. And then it moves on to the next one. So they are very short. So it's like I said, it seems more like a review book. But I suppose it makes sense since it's a sentence pattern book. It does have really good reviews though. The only downside, like you saw, was the Romanji. But I mean, if that's the only downside to it, that's not too bad. It says it's beginner friendly, and then there's 142 patterns, and then of course they have charts in the back. But they are in Romanji also. So they just show you a little bit of a chart. This is the e-adjective chart. conjugating evolutionary form of group 1 verbs, group 2 verbs, and the irregulars. They do show you some exceptions. There's always going to be exceptions. Just remember that when you're learning conjugation, and there's just always going to be exceptions. I should show you my chart. I have it over here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well. Here's this is why I don't call des and stuff and mas form polite form, because look at how many levels of formality there are. So okay, let's start at the bottom. So it's the bottom. Sorry about the lighting. Bottom, order, command. So that's the very bottom. Definitely don't want to say it to someone older than you. And we go up, and then right here is family and friends, subordinates. Use these types of endings, and then we have the more, general use polite forms. And then we have the very top, superiors and customers. So you see there is a lot of levels of formality. So sometimes it can be confusing when they call something the polite form, when they're actually, it's probably more of a general use form. I guess you more call it like a safe form. So if you don't know the person, just use, the highest one that you know. You just, treat them as a superior is pretty much what they do. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware of these really cool play on words that they have in Japanese. They're called da jare. And pretty much I just have a small list of them. And I can't believe how helpful these are at remembering the pronunciation for certain vocabulary. The first one everyone has probably heard before. We have hoshi ga hoshi. Hoshi is star. Ga is the subject marker. So we're talking about hoshi. And then hoshi is the e adjective for to want. So pretty much the sentence means I want a star. So we have this one. Ikura wa ikura. Ikura in katakana is a type of salmon, a salted ikura salmon. Here is these salted salmon egg things. Wa is topic particle, so it's talking about this ikura egg, salmon eggs. Ikura means how much. So ikura is this stuff. Had to look it up. So it's saying how much those are. And then we have tsumaranai, tsuma. So tsumaranai means boring, and tsuma means white. Kusa ga kusai. Kusa is grass, ga is an object, particle. Kusa ga kusai means stinky, smelly. So the grass stinks is pretty much what it's saying. And we have wakase ga wa kuse. Ano hae hae. So ano is that, hae means fly, and hae is kind of like a shortened form of hayai, which means fast. That flies fast. And we have this one. Mushi o mushi suru. So mushi is bug. O is a direct object particle. Mushi suru, ignoring is, or disregarding, and suru is to do. So ignoring the bugs. Yeah. Kasa wa kasanai. Tosan o kaisha ga tosan shita. So tosan is father. This is company. And then bankrupt. That's past tense with the shita. So my father's company went bankrupt. I recently found these. And they're really neat for remembering vocabulary. Oh yeah. Chikaku no kagu no nioi o kagu. So chikaku no kagu no nioi o kagu. Chikaku is close, and then the possessive particle, so it's the nearby furniture, smell, and to sniff. So I sniff the nearby furniture. If you guys know any daじゃれ, leave me a comment. I'd like to see more of these. And like I said, they're a really great study tool to help you memorize the pronunciation for certain kanjis and certain words.